It is Hobby News Tuesday. Hopefully I can get through it. Hopefully I can talk through this thing. Guys, it is Hobby News Tuesday. I'm excited to be here with you. Stick around. We've got a fun one today. Hello to all my sports card, collector, investor, all of my collectibles friends that join me every week for Hobby News. We are back on track, guys. I was, 3 or 4 days without a video. I was missing everybody. I was missing the channel, but I'm glad to be back. So we've got our Hobby News Tuesday, and I've got a fun one tomorrow too that is going to require some audience participation. I need some help from you guys. So that's a preview. That's all I'm going to give you for tomorrow's video. But guys, let's get into some news. Let's talk about first, what is this I'm hearing about Luka Doncic might be leaving Dallas? This is so funny because I've literally heard the opposite stories of like, he is looking forward to signing an extension, to the other side where it's like, he's not happy in Dallas and he's looking to get out. It's like, one of you is very wrong. But I guess this is kind of the news media these days where it's like you're getting both extremes, both ends of it. I personally think that Cuban and the Mavericks are going to give him some pieces to work with. I think the Porzingis experiment, I just don't know. He just looked really flat down the line towards the end of that season. And the problem is like, last season, the excuse would be that Porzingis had injuries. He was kind of battling through injury. And so, playing kind of on injury, not playing great, but not playing terrible. This year, he just looked lost out there. Like he just did not belong. And I don't know if his head is just out of it. His heart's not in it. It just didn't look like he was in sync. It looked like Luka was just trying to run the show. It didn't feel like Porzingis was the confident second option. Honestly, it looked like Tim Hardaway was. And then, of course, you've got in the news, everyone talking about, hey, it wasn't the Porzingis trade from New York. It was the Tim Hardaway Jr. trade. I don't think that Porzingis probably feels great about that. And so, I think he's on a max contract. He's got a massive contract. So it's finding a trade partner, but they've got to get a superstar in Dallas that can really give some relief to Luka on the scoring end that is reliable. It can't just be Luka and that's it. I mean, they've got to have another scorer, just like the Clippers have got, Kawhi and Paul George. In Phoenix, they've got, Chris Paul has stepped up big time, Devin Booker. The main teams have got two players, LeBron and AD. And for the Mavs to get over the hump, they've got to get help for them. And I assume that that's going to happen. I assume there's going to be some sort of a blockbuster trade or something in the offseason. Of course, maybe completely wrong. Maybe, he and KP would just take a little bit longer to gel. We will see what happens. But guys, let me know what you think about the whole Luka news story. And if you have any belief in that he is looking to get out of Dallas. You might be wondering, as I have, what is Drew Brees doing in retirement? Well, it looks like he's buying sports cards, or at least he's looking into it. This is kind of a cool story from blowoutbuzz.com, and they had reported on it. And it was just kind of, it was him inside a card shop, which I thought was just really interesting. And Drew Brees is no stranger to alternative investments. He's got his money in all sorts of different things, whether it be, he's got Jimmy John's restaurants. He bought rare diamonds, I think, for Brittany, his wife, at some point, but expensive ones, not $10,000 diamond. We're talking in the millions that he had spent on them. So he's no stranger to, alternative investments, collectible type stuff. So will Drew Brees make a huge imprint on the hobby? Is he going to start investing in hobby companies and getting involved? I was kind of curious to see. I mean, he's got 4 boys, or he's got 3 boys and a daughter that are starting to get up into that age to where maybe they're starting to get interested in that stuff. I don't know. But does Drew Brees have some rare Drew Brees rookie cards? Maybe, maybe not. What do you guys think? Darren Ravel, one of my favorite tweeters. Anyway, I don't always agree what he has to say, but he's got some good stuff at times. And he reported on a story where Upper Deck and Panini were kind of going back and forth because Upper Deck was essentially saying that Panini had infringed on their license, their Michael Jordan license, because they were using Michael Jordan in the backgrounds of some of their cards. And there's a story that came out that essentially they have settled this lawsuit, so no worries. It's not going to be this dragged out thing. They have settled. So interesting. They were able to work it out. Not that I didn't think that they would work it out, but that Upper Deck went after Panini, and they just kind of, I'm sure they were probably like, okay, let's just settle this and get this over with. Golden Auctions continues to make moves. This was a story that actually came out a couple of weeks ago. Sports Collectors Daily had a good article, just kind of glossing back over this today. Essentially, it's Golden Auctions partnering with a large chain of sports card gaming shops in Japan, and I believe it's called Mint. But I thought this was kind of interesting because it's essentially an outlet. It's a gateway for Golden Auctions to sell to the Japanese, and just making it easier for those international sales. And Golden Auctions, man, they've been flush with cash lately. Ken Golden is at the top of his game per usual, and now they're really kind of making moves in places like Japan, where frankly there are some high net worth folks in Japan. I could see that really being a thing. I don't know, and I kind of wonder. I know that Asia in general is big into basketball cards, but I'm just kind of curious. I wonder if that's somewhat of an untapped market for him, or if that's something where a lot of those buyers were already there and just having a difficult time kind of, getting in and making bids and doing all that piece. So he was just looking for more of kind of distributorship or a way to kind of get his product into the hands of people trying to get it. So the Japanese it looks like it's going to be opening up in Japan, which is very interesting. As we look at kind of that international audience getting into sports cards, already into sports cards, but making it easier for them to put their money into it. What does that mean for our hobby? Kind of macro level, long term. I think it's interesting stuff. All right, last but not least, a pair of Jordan 1s, really cool shoes, game used from his rookie year. These were gifted by Michael Jordan to a photographer friend, Robert Crawford, who knew him while at UNC. Thought this was kind of an interesting story. Robert Crawford's like, you know what? I love you, Mike, but I got to auction these, man. So right now the bid is at $117,900 into the six figures for a pair of shoes that Jordan signed in his rookie season. It's just unbelievable, some of these sports memorabilia prices and just where it's all gone at auction. They're expecting it to keep on going up from there. So if you're interested in a pair of Jordan 1s that were gifted over to a photographer from Michael Jordan, they are signed. They are at $117,000 at this point, or they were yesterday. So unbelievable, some of these sales. Guys, like I said, tomorrow I am going to put together a video. I have not done one quite like this before. I think it'll be kind of fun, and I'm going to be asking for your help. It's audience participation. I'm going to kind of throw some things at you, and I'm curious to see where you come back. I want to learn from you all as much as I can. I mean, look, I've learned so much from viewership on this channel about all types of collectible sports cards. So I know that I like to talk to you, but I like hearing back from you as well. So thank you very much for joining me here today. If you are new here, please subscribe, notification bell, the like button. We got to get more likes, guys. We got to get the likes. Have an amazing Tuesday, and I will talk to you again later. Take care.